Anthony Grasso here, bringing you financial news you can use. In this video, I'm going to go over Bitcoin's upgrade called Taproot that was deployed earlier today and what it means for investors. And should we worry that Bitcoin only makes an upgrade every 3 to 4 years? And as always, folks, don't forget to smash that like button down below and consider subscribe and hit that notification bell to like your daily stock and cryptocurrency reviews and recommendations from an unbiased source. So let's get right into it. So this video is brought to you by Webull, which is an online brokerage trading platform where you can buy stocks, options, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. Now, if you sign up today and deposit any amount, you can get 2 free stocks by using my referral link in the description down below. All right, so what exactly is Bitcoin's Taproot update? Now, it's its first upgrade in about 4 years, and it's gone live today. Now, this is a rare moment where there was a consensus among stakeholders, and that's a kind of a big deal in the world's most popular cryptocurrency. Now, we'll try to go into I won't try to go into much technical aspects of it, but according to the CNBC article, that the Taproot update means it's greater transaction privacy and efficiency, and crucially, it will unlock the potential for smart contracts, and that's very important. Now, which can be used to eliminate middlemen from transactions. Now, Taproot matters because it opens the breadth of opportunity for entrepreneurs and interested in expanding Bitcoin's utility. So we're talking about the utility of Bitcoin and expanding that further. Now, this is different than Bitcoin's 2017 upgrade, which is commonly referred to as the last civil war, according to this article, of the contentious ideological divide separating advocates of Bitcoin. Now, Taproot has near universal support, in part because these changes involve fairly incremental improvements to the code of Bitcoin. So what exactly is changing, right? So there's 3 big things. Now, first, a big part of Bitcoin's makeover has to do with the digital signatures, now which are like the fingerprint to an individual that leaves on every transaction. Now, right now, the cryptocurrency uses something called the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, which creates a signature from the private key that controls a Bitcoin wallet and ensures that Bitcoin can only be spent by the rightful owner. Now, Taproot will add something known as Schnorr signatures, which essentially makes multi-signature transactions unreadable. Now, it won't translate to greater anonymity for the individual Bitcoin address on the public blockchain, but it will make simple transactions indistinguishable from those that are more complex and comprised of multiple signatures. Now, in practice, that means greater privacy because your keys won't have as much exposure on the blockchain. So basically, you can kind of like hide who you are a little bit better, which some say is good. Now, these souped up signatures are also a game changer for smart contracts, which are self-executing agreements that live on the blockchain. Now, smart contracts could theoretically be used for practically any kind of transaction, from paying your rent each month to registering your vehicle. Now, that's if they adopt, this technology. Now, Taproot makes smart contracts cheaper and smaller in terms of the space they take up on the blockchain. Smaller and cheaper as they incrementally fix the blockchain. Now, some say that the enhanced functionality and efficiency presents mind-blowing potential, and I do agree with that sentiment. Now, currently, smart contracts can be created both on the Bitcoin's core protocol layer and on the Lightning Network, which is a payments platform built on Bitcoin, which enables instant transactions. Now, smart contracts executed on the Lightning Network typically lead to faster and less costly transactions. Now, Lightning transactions can be fractions of a penny, but right now, Bitcoin's transactions at the core protocol layer can be much more expensive than that. So this is a game changer for the cost of per transaction basis. Remember that. Now, developers had already begun to build on the Lightning in anticipation of the upgrade, which will allow for highly specific contracts. Now, some argue that the update to smart contracts is the most important thing for Taproot. It is. Smart contracts is one of the most important things of the upgrade. Now, smart contracts is the primary driver for innovation on the Ethereum network, which is the competing network to competing blockchain. Now, smart contracts essentially give the opportunity to build applications and businesses on the blockchain. As more programmers build smart contracts on top of Bitcoin's blockchain, Bitcoin could become more of a player in the world of DeFi, or decentralized finance, a term used to describe financial applications designed to cut out the middleman. Now, today, Ethereum dominates as the blockchain of choice for these applications right now. I mean, they really dominate it, and they're also referred to as dApps. Now, the update took so long to roll out because all developers needed to test it and make sure there was no bugs in the system, which is very important, which could ultimately destroy confidence in the entire cryptocurrency system. Back in 2013, an upgrade went wrong, which resulted in Bitcoin temporarily splitting in half, folks. And so it's very important that they get it right. So what does this mean for investors? You know, currently it's trading at $65,806 a coin right now. Now, I think we shouldn't see any specific gains after a successful upgrade this weekend. I do believe that gains from the news have already been built into the price of Bitcoin. Now, it's been scheduled to go live for months already, and it's been expected to come out for years. We're talking about since 2018. Now, I do believe that even though it won't be the catalyst for immediate short-term gain, long-term implications are far-reaching. Now, investors have to ask themselves, is Taproot good for Bitcoin? The answer is yes, but some investors have grown more skeptical of Bitcoin's network ability to adapt and expand. They worry that the first mover advantage might be eroding away. Given that the rapid pace of development in the blockchain industry, 4 years without a major upgrade might seem like eons. Now let's take in consideration those competing networks like Ethereum, by the way. Now, upgrades and tweaks are far more common on the Ethereum network, which is the #2 blockchain. Now, just off the heels of the London hard fork in August, and now pushing forward the Ethereum 2.0 overhaul expected later this year or next year. You know, some seen the price of Ether, the native cryptocurrency, to Ethereum, it quintupled this year. Now, but others argue that Bitcoin's lack of upgrade shows its technical superiority over Ethereum. Now, the risk is that the market will see the upgrade as being something that is already available elsewhere, like especially on Ethereum. Now, I'm one that understands even though there's no updates on a regular basis for Bitcoin, there is an army of Bitcoin developers that are constantly working on the network improvements in the background. And these developers have been preparing for Taproot for years, since 2008. That was 3 years ago almost. And after the segregated witness or SegWit upgrade went through back in 2017, 2018. That 2017 upgrade that introduced SegWit improved Bitcoin's scalability by segregating specific data for individual transactions. That effectively made them smaller. This step allowed more transactions to be processed without increasing the size of individual data blocks. Now, another key feature of that 2007 upgrade was enabling of the Lightning Network. You know, that's a secondary layer built on top of the Bitcoin base layer, which facilitates near instantaneous, free, and more private Bitcoin transactions. Now, the development of the Lightning Network since 2017 is what allowed it to become a linchpin of El Salvador's push to make Bitcoin legal tender alongside the US dollar. Now, there's a lot of false information out there saying the false story of Bitcoin is they're not developing it very fast. People mistake that the lengthy, rigorous quality reassurance as a lack of change. Now, there's a pipeline of change, and it's large for Bitcoin, but it's a slow release schedule because it needs testing. Now, I, for one, worked for one of Wall Street's largest banks back in the day, directly helping the operations departments upgrade its compliance systems for Dodd-Frank mortgage rules way back in the day when I know it takes time to move a big ship. So I do have to say, I have been reading a lot of competing coins, white papers recently, and they do a lot of futuristic marketing with what might happen in 5 years with no skin in the game. And you don't even know what developers are behind those projects. And you don't even know who developed them. There are a lot of scam coins out there. We have no clue who is running the project or the show behind the curtains, who's pulling the strings with a lot of these coins. There's been so many rug pulls going on, and I do think it's a wild west out there, and you have to be very careful about what you invest in. Some investors argue there might be a limit on how much more upside you can really get from Bitcoin. Now, it might be hard for investors to get much more bullish on Bitcoin than they already are, but I heard that when Bitcoin was $100. With the price now fully recovered, all lost ground from the June low of $28,600, the long-awaited rollout of the U.S. exchange-traded funds, the ETFs focused on Bitcoin futures, started last week with the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETFs, assets topping $1 billion in just 2 days. The Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF launched Friday, and the ValX ETF is set to launch on Tuesday. Now, my view personally is that investors will look at this upgrade positively, and we should see the price to continue increasing for the long term. Of course, there will be a lot of volatility, but I do see good things for Bitcoin in the near future. Ultimately, I think that this implementation will be increasing adoption for Bitcoin use cases, and I don't see why the price wouldn't follow that and increase for the long term. But that's just my thoughts. What are yours? Please leave your comment down below. And as always, folks, don't forget to smash that like button down below. Definitely helps. And consider subscribing and hit that notification bell to like your daily stock and cryptocurrency news and recommendations from an unbiased source. Until the next stock or cryptocurrency review and recommendation, ciao.